This is the last day. We're just in our hotel room waiting for a coach to come and pick us up, a bus to transfer us to the airport. So we've literally got half an hour left
before checkout here.
And so what we wanted to do was to share some of the secrets that we found here on Terceira Island, and in particular at
Angra do Heroismo.
And you know, I've been saying it Angra do Heroismo.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I think we're just going to call it Angra.
So basically, we found out a few things. So our favourite one, number one, is where can you get a really good meal cheaply?
At the fire station.
Who would have thought? It's at the Bomberos, the fire hall.
Yes.
There's a cafeteria, and it's open to the public, and it's one of the best values you're going to find on the whole of the island.
It is absolutely wonderful, isn't it?
So they offer dish of the day, which is normally 3 different items. Yesterday when we ate there was lasagna. There was a very appetizing one called chicken gizzards, which we avoided. And then there was like a potato salad that came with cod, chickpeas, and you know, so that's what we went for.
It was like a fish dish. It was really nice.
It was a cold salad, but they also had a little side salad with it. So how it works is you get a choice of 2 sizes.
Yeah, you can have a small for €5.50 or a large for €6.50.
We just had the small, which in our view was large. It was very large, in fact. So how it works is for $5.50 you get your soup, which there's no choice. It's soup of the day. So we've had a vegetable soup yesterday, and the previous day when we were there we had a tomato soup.
Yeah.
Then you've got your choice of the 3 main courses,
whatever they have, yeah.
And then they'll bring a little cake.
So you get dessert and coffee.
And you can also choose, included in the price, a beer or a pop, soda, or wine. And the wine was surprising.
Yeah.
So Tina had the wine on the first time.
Yeah. And you had beer.
And what did you get?
I got half a carafe of wine all to myself.
It was half a litre.
Yeah.
So lots of wine, and all for €5.50.
Yeah, it was great. So we had a wonderful time, didn't we?
Yeah, we've been there twice for lunch, and then we just have a light snack at night. Mm-hmm. So that's one of our big recommendations.
That's one of our big things we found out.
And you can find the fire hall. It's just directly opposite the street from the Hotel Cruzeria where we're staying.
That's the one we're staying in, isn't it?
It is. Mm-hmm. So the next thing, how about getting around?
Oh, we did great at getting around. One of the best things we found was the bus, wasn't it? We found out
public bus.
The bus number 2 would take you to Praia da Vitoria.
And that's the second city. There's only 2 cities on Terceira Island. Angra do Heroismo is the capital city, if you like, the largest one.
And then Praia da Vitoria is the next size city.
And that's more of a seaside town.
So we found out where the bus went from, and it actually goes down from the marketplace in front of the town hall. So we went down there and we got the number 2 bus and we went.
And it leaves every hour.
Yeah, every hour going, every hour coming back.
So it's dead easy to get to coordinate with the departures.
And it was very reasonable, wasn't it?
It was.
We paid $2.52 each going and the same coming back. So $5.04 for the trip. So €10 for the whole round trip.
For 2 of us round trip.
And it's actually about an hour away.
It is, yeah. And the nice thing is it goes on the coastal road, so you get to have a bit of a tour on the way.
Yeah.
You do see some of the rural life.
Yeah.
We did have to stop for some cows running down the road.
We saw Goat Island, the island that's been split in 2.
Yeah.
We got a great view of there, didn't we?
And then every now and then we would come off the main highway, the coastal road, to go into a small community, and we got to see that as well.
That was great.
Highly recommend, go to Praia Vitoria.
On the city bus.
On the city bus.
That was great.
The other thing is that when we have had our fire hall meal, they only do breakfast and lunch. They don't do anything
They don't
at
do
night.
evening dinner, do they?
So we just wanted a light snack. So there's a new Subway just around the corner from our hotel. So we went there and was very surprised to see that they do a vegan sub.
They do, and it was great. So there was like a big vegetable patty on top of all the salad stuff that everybody knows what you get at Subway, and it was great.
They even had vegan garlic mayonnaise,
which was really good. So we
got
had a
that,
big one, a large
foot
one,
long,
and had it
cut in
half.
half, and that was about €8. And so we highly recommend. And then across the street from Subway, coming towards the hotel, is a nice little pizza restaurant.
And they do a fabulous one. So a couple of times this week we actually had the vegetarian pizza. They do about 12 different choices, but it was wonderful, wasn't it? Very fresh. It was great.
It was, and
very
it's about this. The small one is about the size of a personal pizza from
Canada,
North America.
Yeah.
So
we really enjoyed
we
that.
got 4 pieces out of it. They just cut it in quarters, and it was perfect. It was just enough, having had a big lunch. So we have a Subway and a pizza just around the corner.
As well as the grocery store 2 minutes away, which is great.
It is, and you can get all sorts of things in there. We're on a new winter package for Terceira Island. It's a partnership between Azores Getaways, the local government,
and Azores Airlines.
And so this is just started for the winter season, going direct from Toronto to Terceira Island. So the flight took us just under 5 hours to get here, and the price is insanely cheap. We paid $5.99, included our hotel, included the flight, and we also got breakfast. They also threw a welcome drink in at the hotel as well,
which was great. Now we have spoken to other people, and some people paid $6.99, some people paid $7.50. So it depends maybe who you booked it with and how quick you got in on the deal when it first came out.
And the reason why we chose the Cruzeiro was, apart from the funky halls that are all green, like you're walking through a forest, is it's centrally located. We were thinking about renting a car when we're here, and it's one of the few that has free parking.
But we decided not to in the end, and we got around on the bus. Plus, probably one of the highlights of the trip, certainly to me, was when we took a tuk-tuk ride, and it was fantastic, wasn't it?
Now, the thing you've got to realize about, we've all seen tuk-tuk tours all around the place, especially in the Algarve and where have you, but there is only one tuk-tuk on this island, and it's run by a gentleman who's retired, called Jose.
And it's Tuk Andra Tours.
And he did a fantastic tour.
It?
It's just him. Takes you everywhere. He's very passionate, very knowledgeable about the island, stops at all the major places that you want to see. He even has historic photographs showing you some of the devastation of, like, the main cathedral was totally destroyed in an earthquake.
Yeah, in the 1980s, I think, wasn't it?
And it's been totally rebuilt. You'd never realize that what you were seeing is rebuilt. All the buildings are historically restored just perfectly.
And he took us all the way up to Monte Brazil, and from the top there, you're right on the top of a volcano, and the views were stunning.
Yeah.
And he included a bottle of water and blankets, and we would highly recommend it. You could take a longer tour or a shorter tour. Just contact him. He's on Facebook, and it was a highlight for us. It was great.
Highly recommend that. The other thing is, you don't need to get so hung up on renting a car back in Canada, booking one in Canada before you come here.
No.
Every hotel has a car rental desk. And unlike North America, it's a set price. You just walk in and pay it. You don't have to pay a premium for not booking in advance.
No.
And the nice thing about this hotel is that they have the cars parked in the car park for you as well. So we did take the Azores Getaway transfer from the airport on the bus.
which
that they organised.
We would highly recommend that. It's very reasonable.
And they had a travel guide with us, and they were telling us a ton of information from the airport.
All the trips. Oh yeah, she was telling us everything about the island.
Pointing things out. So you can get a rental car. You can do it by the day. You pay a premium for that, but if you do more than one day, then you get a cheaper rate.
Yeah, which is great.
So the other bus trip that we did was to Sao Mateus.
Sao Mateus, a beautiful little fishing village. It's about less than 10 minutes from here.
It is.
So we decided to take a taxi there. So we took a taxi there, and that cost us €6. And then we got adventurous when we found out that there was a bus stop, and we looked at the timing, and we actually managed to be there a couple of hours.
The buses don't run very regularly, not like the one to Praia da Vitoria. So to San Mateos, they're kind of running every 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah,
so you do have to be careful
that you don't get stranded.
But the main reason why you'd want to go to San Mateos is it's an active fishing village with a fishing fleet. And they have 4 fish restaurants right on the harbour. And to be honest with you, you're never going to eat fresher fish than there.
No, because they're actually catching the fish right there
and serving
it as well. So highly recommend that.
So if you want to eat good fish, go to San Mateos, which is 10 minutes from Angra.
And what else?
And the bus fare back from San Mateos was 94 cents
each, so 188. So the whole round trip was just under €2. So the whole trip cost us €8.
€8 for a nice morning out. And of course, we came back to eat in the fire hall because we were liking
a couple of the other things you had mentioned, Norm, was one of my favorites is I order a Galileo coffee, and you get a large coffee in a big glass, usually a very pretty one, tumbler with a handle.
I think for people coming from North America like us, Tina likes a milky coffee. She doesn't like espresso or black coffee. So if you want a milky coffee, ask for a Gallo, and it comes in a glass cup, like Tina says. But very milky, very, very nice. The other thing is, there's a couple of things you might want to try when you're here, food-wise. They have a speciality cake that was made in honor of Queen Amelia visiting the island years ago. Because they have such a history of importing spices through the Azores, they made this cake for her. So that is now readily available everywhere. And it's something you should try. It's just a tiny little cupcake, but very tasty.
And it's called
the Amelia cake.
The Amelia cake, and it is absolutely delicious, isn't it?
And then there's a beef stew that they do, which is generally for 2 people, comes in a earthenware pot, and
I think they cook it for a few hours, don't they?
They do.
But we've spoken to people and they've had that, and it's called Alcantara.
And if you notice, anything that starts with the letters AL is held over from when the Moors controlled Portugal and southern Spain. So Alcantara is obviously a Middle East dish, which has become one of the main dishes here on Terceira Island. So anyway, we have to run because we've got a bus coming.
So we
have to check out.
We wanted to share some of the secrets with you because we've had an amazing time. We're here 7 days and we've loved it.
And we highly recommend that if you see this deal and it appeals to you, come to Terceira Island and you'll have a wonderful time.
Oh, and also just to say that the same deal comes from Boston too. So everybody in the US can get this same deal from Boston.
They can indeed. And we've loved the hotel.
Yeah.
It's 2 of the friendliest receptionist people here.
Wonderful, Christina and Joanna.
And Tina commented on the brochure, the brooch they were wearing, a little Christmas tree. And lo and behold, they went and bought Tina one to give it to her as a gift. So
it was lovely, wasn't it?
We've never experienced anything like this.
Very friendly place.
And of course, Tina was on the front page of the newspaper with us being the first winter flight to promote tourism into Terceira Island.
And we were both on a video because the TV stations were there,
We were
so
on
there's
the-
a video of
We were
us
on the
too.
local news as well, so
And
they've
we found
posted
that.
that on YouTube. So if you're
Yeah,
adventurous, you might be
good.
able to see us on a newscast on YouTube from Terceira Island. So anyway, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
We've had a great time, but now it's time to go back home to Toronto.
It is.
And the
So
snow.
thanks for being with us, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Bye bye.